Hello and welcome to Pihoa Network, your gateway to the post-independence history of Africa. Today, we are driving into the captivating story of Angola, a nation known as the land of the giant sable. This captivating nickname pays tribute to the majestic and endured giant sable antelope found within its borders. So, tune in and let's embark on this enlightening journey of Angola's post-independence history. Angola is located in the southwestern region of Africa. It shares borders with Namibia to the south, Zambia to the east, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo to the northeast. Its western coastline is along the Atlantic Ocean. Angola, from a post-independence perspective, is often referred to as the land of the brave, earning its nickname through the resilience and courage of its people throughout history. From the struggles of colonization to the triumphs of independence, Angola's story is one of perseverance and determination. For several centuries until 1975, Angola was under Portuguese colonial rule. It provided the Portuguese with slaves, ivory, and minerals. These slaves were sent to their colony of Brazil. The status of Portuguese overseas dominions changed between being a colony and being a province at different times in history. After the Second World War, during the process of decolonization, the Portuguese were not ready to surrender their colonies, which had officially been called provinces, since 1951. This led to various armed independence movements during the 1960s. Three liberation movements emerged in Angola, namely MPLA, UNITA, and FNLA. Prominent leaders were Agostinho Neto, Jonas Savimbi, and Holden Roberto, respectively. The conflict was part of a wider Portuguese overseas war. It started in 1961 to 1974, with the overthrow of Portuguese government following the Carnation Revolution. The new leaders met with representatives of three revolutionary parties and signed the Alvo Agreement in January 1975. This granted Angolan independence on 11th November in 1975. Agostinho Neto of MPLA became the leader of the new government and established a Marxist regime. Soon after independence, the Angolan civilian war erupted, pitting the MPL and UNITA. The MPL government requested for help from Cuba. The war was considered a Cold War proxy conflict. South Africa entered the war on the side of UNITA, while the Soviet Union was the main supporter of MPLA. The United States was also on the UNITA side. SWAPO, the independence movement for Namibia, also got involved. Many atrocities were committed during the war. In 1979, Neto died while undergoing treatment in Moscow. He was succeeded by Jose Eduardo dos Santos. Santos continued with the war against Savimbi, and fighting intensified in the 1980s. In 1981, the South African government responded by sending troops into Angola, prompting the Soviet Union to deliver large amounts of military aid to the MPLA government. At the same time, the newly elected President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, developed a policy linking the Namibian independence to the withdrawal of Cuban troops from Angola. As the war intensified, UNITA and South Africa launched a massive attack on MPL's base at Quito Carnival in early 1988. This was the biggest war in the sub-Saharan Africa since the Second World War. Diplomatic efforts started, which also coincided with the ending of the Cold War. Both sides, South Africa and Cuba, were claiming victory, leading to the need for a diplomatic solution to be found. Negotiations were held in June and August 1988 in the New York and Geneva. Representatives from Angola, Cuba, and South Africa signed the New York Accords, granting independence to Namibia and withdrawal of all foreign forces from Angola. A few years later, in 1991, President Dos Santos met Savimbi in Lisbon and signed the Vices Accords, which laid down the transition to a multi-party democracy in Angola. In 1992, Angola held their first round of presidential elections, in which none of the candidates securing more than 50% of the votes. There was need for a second round between the top two contenders. Savimbi rejected the results and the election process broke down, leading to the resumption of the civil war. The war continued until regional leaders intervened. The Lusaka Protocols were signed in Zambia, aimed at implementing a ceasefire in 1994. In December 1988, Angola military attacked UNITA forces. Dos Santos believed war to be the only way to achieve peace. He rejected the Lusaka Protocol. Savimbi had been using diamond trade to maintain stalemate. Savimbi was killed while fighting in February 2002. This allowed for a memorandum of understanding to end the war. Dos Santos continued ruling until his resignation in 2017. He was succeeded by João Lourenço, the current president. The post-war government faced the problem of reconstructing infrastructure destroyed during the war. It also had to resettle displaced population. This was facilitated using its vast resources in oil and diamonds. It also has to contend with separatist movement in Cabinda. And there you have it, the remarkable story of Angola's post-independence history. Join us next time as we uncover the untold tales of another African nation on Postwar Network. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the rich tapestry of Africa history. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe for more videos and alerts. And also remember to turn the bell on. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in a bit as we explore another African country.